Use the safety rule and knife to prepare straight edge on your card. Weight the tracing down with a dead weight. Transfer the lines onto the card using the compass point. 2 or 3 indents along each line is enough. For square or rectangular openings, an indent in the 4 corners will suffice. Place the point of your knife blade into the compass indent. Position the safety rule against the blade and the remaining compass indents. Cut through the card with 1, 2 or 3 passes. If not cutting into an internal corner, make the strokes longer to create a neater external corner. Cut the openings first and then the perimeter. Use the completed card elevation as a template to make a second elevation. The clean faces of the cards should be facing each other when this is done. Cut 2 mirror-imaged cardboard elevations for each of your traced elevations. Check elevations against each other for accuracy. Replace or correct elevations you are not happy with. When making the plan elevation, which will be the ground floor, mark out from the tracing as done previously. Then you can check those marked indents against some of the previously cut elevations for correctness. Then proceed to cut out the plan elevation with a safety rule and knife. The roof lines are not shown as true shape elevations on the drawings. However, all the information is on the drawings for us to produce them. To cut the roof pitches, we can use our previously cut elevations. Use the safety rule and knife to prepare a straight edge and 90-degree edge on your card. Take the true length of the roof line from your side elevation. This is one of the party walls in the terrace and is a gable end on your model. The width of the roof is taken from the front elevation of the house. Mark and cut out the roof so both lines are parallel. Check your roof against your previously cut elevations that it will connect to. Both sides of the roof are the same, so I'll use this as a template to mark and cut 3 more pieces. Continue to use the safety rule, knife and set square to prepare a straight edge on your card. Continue to check for accuracy with your mirrored pieces, and it can be worthwhile marking the 2 pieces out so you know which one belongs where. Where the 2 roof lines meet at the rear of the property, this creates what we call a valley. Continue to use your previously cut card elevations to mark out your roof accordingly. We mark 2 points, one along the bottom edge on the soffit line and the second on the opposite party wall where the roof line only travels halfway down the gable. With those 2 points marked, place a safety rule in line with the compass indents and cut across the card. You can check your accuracy against your previously cut elevations. This demonstrates where the adjacent roof will sit. Now use that as a template to mark out and cut your mirror image. For the adjacent roof line, we take the true length from the rear elevation. We cut a parallel strip of card and square the end off with a set square. You can use the safety rule to rest both the card and the set square against while you cut a true 90-degree end. From your drawing, mark on the ridge length. Now mark on the open side elevation onto your roof line. Because the soffit line on the rear roof line is lower than the main roof line, we have to do a 90-degree cut before we do the valley cut. Use a pencil and set square to mark a line up from the soffit edge of the roof line. Set a pencil and compass to the distance this line will go up. Mark this distance onto your cardboard. Create an indent at this mark. Use the safety ruler and knife to cut this shape out. You can now check this roof line against your previously cut elevations. When happy, you can use this now to cut a secondary mirror image of that roof line. To help us see the space inside the model, I have decided to leave the main party wall out. You should now have 2 mirror imaged elevations, that is viewing from the clean neutral face of the card, for each section of the house. This is brown gummed paper tape. Because it is paper and not plastic based, then it will allow us to glue the surface. The tape is 1 inch wide, but we can fold it in the middle, create a crease, and then cut through this with scissors or a knife. The narrower width makes it easier to work with. With the gable end elevation and the plan elevation lying clean face down, place 2 pieces of card between the gap created on the join. Weight down the elevations, then proceed to tape across the join. Remove the card spacers as you proceed to tape right across the join. Turn over and fold up. Now connect the front elevation to the side elevation in the same manner. Make sure the doorway is on the correct side. The card spacers allow the tape to form a hinge. This is an easier way to cut the tape in half. Place it onto the cutting mat. Place your straight edge up against the halfway mark and cut in 2 with the knife. Add the roof section onto the side elevation, place the spacers in and tape accordingly. You can now position the rear of the roof with the orientation of the valley in the correct position. Place the spacers in and then hinge with the tape all the way across. Okay, now positioning the rear elevations of the house. Turn it over. The first one goes on with the spacers in place to create the hinge. But when we put the second one on, we don't put the spacers in place because it is turning in on itself. It doesn't require the hinge. And the final piece with the spacers in to create the hinge. That completes that rear section. Okay, now to put it all together, we don't need the spacers anymore, so we're just bringing up each corner, applying tape, and we want a nice seamless joint in the corners. Use the straight edge to force the inside in and use your fingers or nails to push in that tape, and it should connect quite well. Plenty of tape, cut it to the size you need, push it in. Putting in the final piece, I just checked it, offered it up, and I noticed that it was slightly marginally oversized, so I just trimmed it slightly to fit. Applied tape all the way round, let's just cut in some more tape, all the way round, and then fitted it into position and turn the tape over to connect it to the other elevations. Smoothed out with your fingers until it's a solid shape. That completes the inside of the model, and it was surprisingly robust. In part 3 we'll cover the outside of the model.